And let's begin by telling you that human rights lawyer and activist Dele Farotimi has been granted bail by an Ekiti State magistrates court. He was granted bail in the sum of 50 million naira with a surety in like sum. The court said the surety must own landed property, while the matter was adjourned to January 29th, 2025 for further proceedings. Farotimi was remanded last week Monday by the court in Ekiti for allegedly defaming illegal luminary Afe Babalola in his recently published book, Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. There has been an outrage over his arrest and subsequent persecution, with legal opinions divided over the actions instigated by Babalola. And now to discuss this, we are joined by legal practitioner Bayo Sani. Bayo, it's good to have you join us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the factors that we're seeing regarding, this court, the Nigerian court in particular. What factors does the Nigerian court consider when determining bail conditions? 50 million naira for a defamation case. That is a lot.
Okay, thank you. Bail is at the discretion of the court, and there are lots of there are lots of factors to be considered by the court when determining an application for bail that has been filed on behalf of a defendant. Number one, you consider the likelihood of the defendant jumping bail. You consider the seriousness of the offense. You consider the nature of the offense. Then you consider also whether the accused person is a first-time offender or whether he has been convicted like that. So we have a case of FRN Ajudua where the Supreme Court outlined all these things that must be considered. Even at that, it is still at the discretion of the court. The conditions, although legal principle does not permit you to give stringent bail conditions, that's why you can go back to court and vary the conditions if you find it too stringent, or you can appeal to the appellate court on that. So that is the position. Now, if you look at it, you said for an offense like defamation, yes, defamation is an offense. It's a crime in Nigeria by virtue of Section 374 of the Criminal Code. Okay, and the gentleman, Mr. Dele Farotimi, has been arraigned before a magistrate court for that offense. All right. And the fact that he has been arraigned shows that, okay, he can be granted bail, and which has just been done by the magistrate court in Ekiti today. Regardless of that, it's also a simple offense. I mean, it's an offense that is less than 7 years, which means it's not a felony. All right. But that's the courts. I won't be here to really determine whether the court was fair or not. So it still has its rights under the law.
So we're yet to determine whether the court was fair. It's at the discretion of the court. But this is not a criminal offense, meaning that this is not a felony, right? And this is, so to be clear, this is a civil matter.
I did not say it is not a criminal offense.
All right.
I said it is not a felony.
It's not a felony. So what
now,
then?
It is a crime in Nigeria.
Right.
Do you understand? You see, defamation can be civil, can be a tortious civil wrong, and can also be a crime. Criminal code in Nigeria, which is the umbrella criminal law in Nigeria, has criminalized defamation, libel. Now, if a statement has been made or has been published against you as an individual, as a citizen of Nigeria, and you find it to be libelous, you have two options. Either pursue a civil suit against the person that you feel has published that libelous statement against you, or you initiate a criminal action against such person.
So he's committed a crime.
So
this is a crime. I'm trying to get to my next question, right?
All right.
So this is a crime case.
Libel is a crime.
So it's a crime. He's
it's
committed
a crime in Nigeria.
Right. So to what extent is the judge's decision in this case influenced by political or public nature of the case? I need to ask this because we have to consider Dele Farotimi's role as a human rights lawyer.
You see, we are lawyers. I like the way you have described Mr. Dele Farotimi as a lawyer. We are lawyers. We have been trained to be circumspect in our opinion. We have also been trained not to make, I don't want to use the word baseless, but I want to say that we have been trained to always support our statement with proof. with evidence. If I say something, I must be able to prove it. If I say fact, I must be able to prove it. That is the role of evidence. Even as lawyers, whenever we are defending, we are representing our clients in court, if you make a legal argument, you are supposed to support it with a judicial authority or a law. You can't just put anything before the court and say, this is what the law is. Where did you see it? That's where we have the principle of ratio decidendi. Now, coming back to the publication of Mr. Dele Farotimi, the matter is in court now. Criminal action has been initiated against him. He has a defense, which is justification, and that's truth of the publication, which is defense of justification. And I will leave it to the stage of trial because I would love to see that defense because those allegations are weighty. Those allegations are against the most sacred institution in Nigeria, which is the judiciary, okay? Whether the allegations are right or not, it's left for Mr. Farotimi to.
But does the judge's decision in this case, do you think it was influenced by the political or public nature of the case?
How will anybody be able to prove that? How? How will you say that, look, the judiciary is a third arm of government. They have been saddled with a sacred responsibility. As lawyers, look, this is the way it is. I would liken it to this manner when we're in school, when we're in the university and you feel that, okay, I'm being careful. I am not saying Mr. Farotimi is wrong. What he has written in his book is before the court. He has to prove it now to justify what he has written. Not only against Chief Afe Babalola, whom he has mentioned. There are other fellows that he has mentioned in the book. Apart from that, the Supreme Court, retired Chief Judge, former Attorney General of Lagos State. These are people who have spent so many years building integrity and trying to leave a legacy of their name, okay? That's on one side. Now, on the other side is Mr. Farotimi, who feels, oh, this was what happened in this book. If you have written something like that, you must support such facts with evidence. And if Mr. Afe Babalola has chosen to proceed with a criminal action against him, then when they get to trial, he must be ready to defend himself by putting up a good defense of justification of what he has said. Otherwise, look, we'll be looking at the most sacred institution in this country, that's the judiciary, with a lot of doubts in the mind of the common man that's supposed to see judiciary as the last hope of the common man. You understand what I'm saying? So that is where we are now.
So, a common man.
So, if you say that, oh, is it true that judges' decisions are influenced? I don't know about anything like that.
I never asked if it's true. I said, do you think that the judge's decision in this case was influenced by the case?
In his own case, in the case that
in this case that he
well, we will get to see whether it is true or not when he gets to trial.
You've been skirting around this question, so let me ask you my final question before I let you go. And this time it's about the legal system and balance.
Okay.
When it comes to the individual rights, with state interests in politically charged cases, like what we're seeing with Dele Farotimi, where is the legal, how does the legal system create or provide balance in cases like this?
This is not a political case.
Well, it has public interest.
Don't describe it as such.
Well, I'm going to say why. Here's why I say it's politically charged, right? If you are writing against cases and you're writing experiences of your own personal experience as your time as a lawyer, human rights lawyer, and you're calling out very big wigs in the judicial system that you have just said is the third arm of governance, don't you think that that is not a politically charged case?
I disagree.
Okay.
Look, the subject matter of their suit borders on land or whatever, according to what he wrote in his book. Nothing political about it. It's not about election petition. It's not about political decision. It's not even a constitutional matter. All right? And you have leveled an allegation against some people because I can say that for every case I lose in court, the judge was biased or the judge was influenced by the other party. That can be the statement on the mouth of every lawyer that has lost a case in court. Just like when we're in school, whenever you fail an exam, you say the lecturer failed you. But when you pass an exam, you say, I passed the exam. Do you understand? So we should be very careful.
All right, so let's take out the word politically charged, because I understand we're pressed for time. A very public case like this, a situation that is liable 50 million naira bail and also surety in sum. Does the legal system provide balance for individual rights and for state interests in a, because people have questioned, critics have questioned how he was being taken from Lagos all the way to Ekiti and being arraigned in front of a court at Ekiti. Again, a publicly charged, a public interest case like Dele Farotimi's case.
You see, since this matter commenced, we have seen a lot of lawyers on social media, we have seen a lot of judges on social media giving their own legal opinion or in the manner they feel right or wrong. Now, Dele Farotimi still has his rights. Same with the man who initiated these criminal proceedings. He also felt that what they wrote about him in the book or what he wrote about him in the book are libelous. I've said it, the legal system has left conditions for bail at the discretion of the court. If you feel that the court has given stringent bail conditions, you can either vary it, apply to vary it, which we have seen in Emefiele's case here, most recent case here. We don't even want to cite old-time cases, the most recent case. You can either apply for the bail conditions to be varied, or you can appeal against it. All right? Now, he was arrested in Lagos. He was taken to Ekiti. If you look at the principle of conspiracy in criminal law, it can cut across several jurisdictions. And for every jurisdiction that this crime touches, the accused person can be arraigned anywhere. We have seen people with series of events, chains of actions. Somebody will start from another state, will conclude the crime in another state. Do you understand? So these are crimes that cut across various jurisdictions. He was arrested in Lagos State. The complainant, or the complainant now, resides in Ekiti. He was taken from Lagos to Ekiti, where libel is still a crime, with no local law in the state law repealing the provisions of the criminal code.
You still haven't answered the question. How does the legal system balance individual rights with state interests in public cases, public interested cases like Dele Farotimi?
You say I still have a problem calling that matter a public interest.
Well, okay, so in this case like Dele Farotimi,
yes.
How about we remove the adjective? How does the legal system balance individual rights with public interests or state interests in cases like this?
Law is it. You see, law is a two-way pendulum. And as you have said, how does the legal system balance their interests? Number one, the pathfinder there is the Constitution. What are your rights under the Constitution? And how it must be upheld to ensure that your rights are not violated in any way. These are some of the, should I say, the shield available to whoever has been accused or whoever is standing trial or facing any criminal charge. That is the pathfinder here. That is the umbrella. That is the platform for anybody. All right. So that is the instrument that we must consider.
All right. Well, many thanks for doing this with us. We appreciate you for coming on. Bayasani. Bayasani is a legal practitioner, joined us here to have more detail, just to discuss with us regarding the Dele Farotimi libel case.